One time, while the Buddha was staying at Sawati at the Eastern Monastery, Visakha went to visit him during an Uposatha day. After bowing to the Buddha, Visakha respectfully sat with her legs to one side. The Buddha said to her, "Visakha, why are you here in the middle of the day?" "I am here to observe the Uposatha, my lord." The Buddha then explained, "There are 3 types of Uposathas: the Uposatha of the cowherds, the Uposatha of the Jains, and the Uposatha of the noble ones." What is the Uposatha of the cowherds? After a cowherd returns his cattle to their owners in the evening, he reflects, "Today the cattle wandered over here and over there. They drank at this spot and at that spot. So tomorrow they will wander to this spot and to that spot. And tomorrow they will drink water at this spot and at that spot." Similarly, when a certain type of person observes the Uposatha, he thinks, "Today I ate this food and that food. Tomorrow I will eat this food or that food. Today I had fun by doing this and by doing that. Tomorrow I will have fun by doing this and by doing that." This is the Uposatha of the cowherd, Visakha. When this Uposatha of a cowherd is undertaken, it does not yield great results or benefits. It does not lead to great glory or radiance in the mind. And what is the Uposatha of the Jains? They are contemplatives known as the Nikantas or Jains. They teach their disciples to undertake this practice. Be kind to people of a certain type who live in a certain place. Be aggressive with people of a different type who live in a different place. Thus, they teach their disciples to act kind and sympathetic to some beings, but not to others. The Jains teach their students to contemplate, "I am nothing. I am not connected or attached to anything. Nothing exists. Nothing is connected to anything. I own nothing. Nothing owns me. I have no greed. I have no emotions. I have no feelings." Yet, in spite of this, they still continue to think that, "This is my father. This is my wife. This is my child. These are my servants. This is my business. This is my house." They are persuaded to undertake truthfulness, yet they undertake falsehoods. At the end of the day, when they get home, they scold and berate their servants and family. They promise to keep the fast, yet when they get home, they resume consumption. This is the Uposatha of the Jains, Visakha. When this Uposatha of the Jains is undertaken, it does not yield great results or benefits. It does not lead to great glory or radiance in the mind. And what is the Uposatha of the noble ones? It is the cleansing of the dirty mind through the proper technique. What is this proper technique? When a disciple of the noble ones reflects upon the Buddha and thinks, "The Buddha is worthy and rightly self-awakened. He is perfect in knowledge and conduct. He is an expert in regards to the world. He is beyond all others as a trainer for those fit to be trained. He is a teacher of divine and human beings. He is awakened. He is blessed. As she recollects the virtues of the Buddha, her mind is calmed, and joy arises. The defilements in the mind are abandoned. There is a case where the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon the Dhamma, the Buddha's teachings. She thinks, "The Dhamma is well taught by the Blessed One. It is to be seen here. Regarding time, it is timeless, relevant at all points of time. It can be verified. It is pertinent. It is to be realized by the wise for themselves." When the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon the Dhamma, her mind is calmed, and joy arises. The defilements in the mind are abandoned. There is a case in which the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon the Sangha, the Buddha's enlightened followers. She thinks, "The Sangha of the Blessed Ones have practiced well, practiced straightforwardly, practiced methodically, and practiced masterfully. They are worthy of hospitality, worthy of offerings, worthy of respect. They are an incomparable field of merit for the world." When the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon the Sangha, her mind is calmed, and joy arises. The defilements in the mind are abandoned. There is a case where the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon their own virtues. She thinks, "My actions are pure. My actions are good. My actions are leading to my spiritual growth. My actions have led to benefits for others. My actions have led to benefits for myself. My actions refrain from causing harm. My actions are well-intentioned and well-considered. I have developed my virtues of charity, restraint, renunciation, wisdom, effort, forbearance, truthfulness, aspiration, compassion, and equanimity." When the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon her virtues, her mind is calmed, and joy arises. The defilements in the mind are abandoned. There is a case where the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon the Devas. She thinks, "The Devas exist in heaven. They experience bliss and happiness. In order to be reborn in heaven, they held on to their convictions while they were alive. They maintained their virtues. They strove for spiritual learning. They searched for and developed discernment. They practiced charity and giving. These things are present in me as well." When the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon the virtues of Devas, her mind is calmed, and joy arises. The defilements in the mind are abandoned. There is an example in which the disciple of the Noble Ones reflects upon arahants. She reflects upon the followers of the Buddha, who have achieved complete freedom from their defilements. She thinks, "As long as they live, arahants refrain from the taking of life. Arahants lay down their weapons and consciously refrain from causing bodily harm in the taking of life. Arahants understand that all beings value their lives. All beings feel anger towards those that deprive them of life. Violence and killing only lead to further karmic debt that must be repaid through rebirth and suffering. She will aspire to follow the example of the Arahants and will think, by doing this, my Uposatha will be observed. As long as they live, Arahants refrain from taking that which is not expressly given. Arahants will refrain from all types of stealing and greed. Arahants will instead live a life based on obtaining things in a manner that is pure and blameless. Arahants understand that all beings have greed and desire. All beings strive to gain belongings which are valuable to them. Thus, if someone were to deprive them of that which they gained, this would lead to suffering and karmic debt that must be repaid through suffering and rebirth. She will aspire to follow the example of the Arahants and will think, by doing this, my Uposatha will be observed. As long as they live, Arahants refrain from living an incelibate life. Arahants will refrain from all types of sexual behavior that are the householder's way. Arahants understand that sexual behavior leads to attachment and addiction. Attachment and addiction lead to suffering and karmic debt that must be repaid through suffering and rebirth. She will aspire to follow the example of the Arahants and will think, by doing this, my Uposatha will be observed. As long as they live, Arahants refrain from using speech that is harmful. Arahants will refrain from all types of speech that can lead to suffering and pain. They will speak the truth, refrain from lying, refrain from teasing, refrain from gossiping, refrain from coercing, refrain from insulting, and refrain from speaking to gain favor for oneself. Instead, they will focus on controlling their speech and speaking only when it is beneficial to all. The Arahants understand that harmful speech can and will lead to suffering and negative karmic connections with others that we will be responsible for and have to be reborn endlessly to repay. She will aspire to follow the example of the Arahants and will think, by doing this, my Uposatha will be observed. As long as they live, Arahants refrain from partaking of intoxicants that lead to heedlessness. Arahants will refrain from partaking in anything that will lead them to lose control of their minds. Arahants will refrain from all types of drugs, alcohol, and mind-distorting intoxicants. Instead, they will live a life based on cultivating and maintaining mental development. They understand that our minds are a finite resource that we need to cultivate in order to reach enlightenment, and that any imbibing of intoxicants is the equivalence of self-sabotage. She will aspire to follow the example of the Arahants and will think, by doing this, my Uposatha will be observed. As long as they live, Arahants refrain from eating beyond that which is needed. Arahants will refrain from eating at the wrong time of day. They will only eat to sustain their bodies. They understand that food is not for enjoyment, but rather for sustaining this body of ours. We need to sustain our bodies so that we can rely on it while we strive for enlightenment. She will aspire to follow the example of the arahants, and will only eat at the proper designated time, and will only eat an appropriate amount with the sole intention of sustaining her body. She will think, by doing this, my Uposatha will be observed. As long as they live, arahants refrain from dancing, singing, music, watching shows, wearing garlands that serve to beautify, and wearing perfumes and cosmetics. The arahants will not seek to beautify their bodies, nor seek to show them off to others. They understand that the body is filthy and merely a vessel that we must sustain in order to obtain enlightenment. She will aspire to follow the example of the arahants and put away her jewelry and adornments. She will refrain from striving to be beautiful and displaying herself, and focus purely on her mental development. She will think, by doing this, my Uposatha will be observed. As long as they live, arahants refrain from partaking of seats and beds that are meant to provide comfort and enjoyment and can lead to excess sleeping, thus reducing the already limited time we have to attain mental liberation. She will aspire to follow the example of the arahants and will sleep on low beds or spreads. She will think, by doing this, my Uposatha will be observed. Such is the Uposatha of the noble ones, Visakha. When this Uposatha of the noble ones is undertaken, it is of great fruit and great benefit. It leads to great glory and great radiance. How is it of great fruit and great benefit, of great glory and great radiance?
What did you learn from this story? Let us know in the comments. We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads. And consider making a donation to support our Buddhist animation project.